YouTube. What's up, baby? Back in this thing again for another review. This is Q's Insight. I'm Callie, and today we're going to be talking about Wednesday, Season 1, Episode 7, entitled If You Don't Woe Me By Now. Alright? Now, if you've been to this channel before, you already know how we do it. Started off with the premise, 3 favorite scenes, the grade, and then we on to the next one, right? So again, Wednesday, Season 1, Episode 7, entitled If You Don't Woe Me By Now. So for this episode, we open up on the mayor's on mayor funerals on on the mayor's funeral, Mayor Walker. Wednesday sees a mysterious man at the funeral. Wednesday sees a mysterious man at the funeral, and she ends up chasing him down, and this person ends up being Uncle Fester. We see, we find out that Uncle Fester did something illegal, like some type of job, you know what I'm saying? And he needs somewhere to lay low for a couple of days. So Wednesday lets Uncle Fester stay at Eugene's like bee farm, and then we end up finding out from Uncle Fester that he knows about the beast, and the beast is it's a Hyde, so it's like Jackal and Hyde. So we find out about Fester having an experience with a situation where in which there was a girl that he liked, and one day she went crazy and she turned into a Hyde monster. So yeah, and then we also find out that there's this journal that Fester tells Wednesday of, where in which it has some information on the creature, the Hyde beast, and is hidden in the Nightshade hideout. And this journal may help to find answers with dealing with the beast. Wednesday tells Uncle Fester that they will go at night to get the journal from the Nightshade room. So from there, Wednesday goes to her room, and Ned comes in to visit because she forgot something. And then Wednesday and Ned kind of go at it again, per se. But you can tell that they both like each other and they both miss each other. Not like each other as friends, you know what I'm saying? So Wednesday goes to the Nightshade room after that, and she calls out for Fester because Uncle Fester is supposed to be meeting her there. But she ends up running into Xavier, and then they talk for a bit, and Wednesday kind of confronts Xavier about being the beast, and he ends up leaving because, like, he gets pissed off. Then Fester comes out of the shadows. He's been there the whole time just watching him. That fool is stupid. But anyways, he comes out of the shadows. He's been there the whole time just watching him, right? So they end up finding the journal. Uncle Fester, and Wednesday end up finding the journal. Then they go back to Wednesday's dorm to look at the journal. And then we find out that there's a monster and a master. And then Miss Thornhill comes to see Wednesday, and since she comes in there, Fester hides. And then anyways, Miss Thornhill comes to see Wednesday and tells her that Enid has decided to room somewhere else for the rest of the year. And then we see her Miss Thornhill still trying to check on like Wednesday, like, look, like, I know you guys are friends. I know you're trying to be like all emotionalist and everything like that, but I know you guys are friends. I know you guys care about each other, and it's like, I'm just trying to make sure you're okay type stuff. And then we then see Xavier making a call asking to meet up with someone that we don't know exactly who it is, but he's trying to meet up with somebody. Wednesday ends up eavesdropping on the situation and follows Xavier. Fester comes along, and then we see that Xavier made that call to Dr. Kenbot, which is, Wednesday's shrink. So he made that call to Dr. Kenbot, asking to meet up with her, and then you can actually hear him talking to her like, hey, I had this dream or whatever, I had this vision where you died or whatever. And so they go in the car and they sit down or whatever. And so Wednesday goes to Miss Weems about what she saw, like Dr. Kenbot meeting up with Xavier. But when Wednesday gets there, Dr. Kenbot's already there, having coffee and tea and whatever, and talking to Miss Weems already. So Wednesday ends up leaving, and then Wednesday and Fester go to the coffee shop, and then Wednesday ends up talking to Tyler for a bit. Then Sheriff Donovan comes in, then hands out these flyers, and he's leaving these flyers, and it's basically, it has like a picture of Fester on there, so he's looking for Fester. And when he shows up to the place, Fester's already gone. Like, that fool is stupid. I swear to God, he's already gone. Tyler talks to Wednesday about having a real date this time, since she promised him to have a date, and then I was only using them, and that happened on the last episode. But so she's like, all right, I owe you this. So this time they actually go on a real date. They have a little dinner, and they end up watching a movie. And then we see Sheriff Donovan actually runs into them because he's looking for Fester, and he was putting two and two together, thinking that Fester may be at this area where currently Wednesday and Tyler are, but of course Fester's not there. So Wednesday goes home, and she ends up seeing that her place has gotten broken into. The journal was missing, and she sees that Thing got stabbed, and he's like stabbed against the wall, like his hand is against the wall, like he's bleeding to death. So Fester and Wednesday try to, resuscitate life back into Thing, and they're able to do so. And then Fester tells Wednesday that he'll leave, the coming next day. And then Wednesday goes to see Miss Weems about the break-in that took place, and the fact that Thing got stabbed or whatever. Or maybe she didn't. Maybe he didn't say anything about. Maybe she didn't say anything about Thing, but definitely the break-in. And we find out Weems knows about the journal that Wednesday's talking about, and she also knows about the Hyde Beast. So Weems and Wednesday end up talking for a bit, and then from there, once Wednesday leaves Mrs. Weems' office, Bianca tells Wednesday to come with her. And she has some info on the mayor's death. And so Bianca and Lucas tell Wednesday that, like what her father was, what Lucas's father was looking into before he died. And it was, we already know it's a death certificate for Laurel Gates. But so Wednesday goes to confront Dr. Kenbot about actually being Laurel Gates. But Dr. Kenbot says, this is not true. You got this whole thing wrong. You really need some help type stuff, and da-da-da-da. But, we're thinking, Wednesday's in the right. You know what I'm saying? So we're going along with her. So from there, Dr. Kinbach calls Miss Weems after Wednesday leaves, filling her in on, what happened, as far as Wednesday coming and confronting her about this and that. So in the middle of her explaining everything that happens to Miss Weems, Miss Kimbot actually gets attacked by the beast and gets killed. So then Wednesday goes to Xavier to confront him about, Kinbot. And what ends up happening is, I don't know if Wednesday frames Xavier or if someone else frames Xavier. But certain items from each death or each attack that the beast did on, the victims, they end up being in Tyler's, they end up being in Xavier's, like little art room. And so he gets arrested by um, by Sheriff Donovan, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta set up and everything like that, and da 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 da." And so then from there, Wednesday goes back to the dorm, and Ned is there, and obviously she's back per se, and they both make up, and things are better between the two. So that was cool. From there, Wednesday goes to visit Tyler, and Tyler and Wednesday they end up kissing, and then after the kiss, Wednesday ends up having this vision, and it's Miss Kenbot, like when she was about to die, and we see that from her vision what the beast looks like, and it's in the beast form for a second, but when she's like fading out, when she's really about to die, it reverts from the beast form into its human form, and the human form is Tyler. So after Wednesday wakes up from the vision, she sees Tyler there. He's like, "Oh, is everything cool?" Da da da. And she's like, "I gotta go," and she runs away, and she just like leaves the coffee shop or whatever. Yeah, she leaves the coffee shop, and Tyler is like, for him, it's like either he does know that he's Hyde and he's just playing it off, or he really doesn't know that he's Hyde, and he just doesn't know. Which then would make sense because maybe the person that um maybe the person that set up um Xavier was Tyler's dad, Sheriff Donovan. We don't know though, but that's what I'm kind of drawing my conclusion to. So that's basically the premise of this episode. My three favorite scenes for this episode would be, this is not necessarily a scene, but just Fester in general. I really love this episode with Fester. He kind of brought like some type of like some a different element. Like Wednesday's cool, of course. You know what I'm saying. Don't get it wrong, but sometimes she can seem kind of dry, and it just felt like Fester was that other, the other piece that was missing, especially for this episode. So I definitely enjoyed this episode. But yeah, just everything dealing with Fester was great, and then even Fester's interactions with Wednesday was great. But yeah, that'd be my first thing, just Fester, just in general. My second thing would be Thing coming back to life, man. I was like, yo, like if they make Thing die, like I mean, but of course he can't die because he's in the movies. But this is something else different, or maybe there's multiple things, what I'm saying, that they could do, what I'm saying. So you never know. But I was just like, bro, if he dies right now, man, that would suck so bad. but they end up bringing him back to life, so that was cool. That was really cool. And then thirdly would be Wednesday's vision of Tyler attacking Miss Kimbot and then turning from the beast back into his regular human form. Like, that was crazy to see, man. It was like, yo, like, because she was just making out with him, and like obviously she like loves him or likes him, you know what I'm saying? It's like her first love, her first person that she shows interest into um, is a beast. So it was crazy. And then she just like, I gotta go. And she just runs away, bro. That was crazy. It was real crazy. But that'll be like three of my favorite scenes right there. The grade for this, I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10. Definitely a strong episode. One of my favorite episodes, you know what I'm saying, for sure, for sure. But definitely a strong episode, 9.5 out of 10. If you guys saw this episode, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. Did you guys enjoy having Fester on this episode? Because I really liked having Fester on this episode. Almost so much that, like, I wouldn't mind seeing a spinoff show with Fester, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed it, if you guys didn't. We only got one more episode to go, man, before we don't have no more episodes at all, you know. But I know that, like I said, this show has been greenlit for season 2, so you know, we'll be coming back to this situation once again eventually. But I think that's about it for this video. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. As always, this is Q's Insight. I'm Callie. Till next time.